Are you dreaming of owning a piece of Italy? Whether it's a rustic farmhouse in Tuscany, a chic apartment in Rome, or a beachfront villa on the Amalfi Coast, buying property in Italy is a dream for many. But before you dive in, there are important steps and considerations to keep in mind. In this guide, I'll take you through the process of buying property in Italy and share some key tips to ensure a smooth process. Step one is understanding your budget, knowing how much you can afford. This includes not only the price of the property, but also the additional costs like taxes, legal fees, and renovation expenses if the property needs work. Property taxes in Italy can range from 2 to 10% of the property's value, depending on whether it'll be your primary residence or a second home. Don't forget about notary fees, which can add another 2 to 3% of the purchase price. Having a clear budget will help you narrow down your options and avoid surprises. Step two is researching the market. Italy has a diverse property market with wide-ranging prices depending on the region and the type of property. So here's a bit of a breakdown. One is Tuscany and Umbria, which is very popular with international buyers, and the properties here are often more expensive. Another region is southern Italy and Sicily. You can find bargains in these regions, with some towns even offering properties for as little as €1 to attract new residents. And then another market is the cities. Major cities like Milan, Rome, and Florence have high property prices, but offer excellent rental potential if you're looking for an investment. Take your time to explore different areas and visit properties in person if possible. And then step three is understand the buying process. Buying property in Italy involves several steps. Let's kind of walk through that a bit. So number one is you're going to have to make an offer. Once you find a property you love, you'll submit an offer through a real estate agent. If accepted, you'll sign a preliminary contract called a compromesso and pay a deposit, usually 10 to 30% of the purchase price. Step two in the buying process is hiring a notary, also called a notaio. The notary is a legal professional who ensures the transaction complies with Italian law. Step three is going to be to conduct due diligence. This includes checking property titles, outstanding debts, and compliance with local regulations. Step four is going to be the final contract, the rogito. The notary prepares the final deed, which you'll sign to complete the purchase. At this point, you'll pay the remaining balance and associated taxes. So that's kind of the four-step process. The buying process is making an offer, hiring a notary, conducting due diligence, and then the final contract. Now, step four, let's talk about the legal and financial considerations. So one, you're going to hire a lawyer. Well, not mandatory. It's highly recommended to hire an independent lawyer who specializes in Italian property law. They'll help you avoid potential pitfalls. You'll also want to open a bank account. You will need an Italian bank account to manage property-related expenses. You'll also need to get a codice fiscale. This is an Italian tax identification number required for all property transactions. So really, you might need to get the codice fiscale before you open the bank account. You might need that to open the bank account. Kind of depends, on Revolut and some of these new fintech banks. You might be able to make something happen there. And then the next consideration is financing. So if you're not paying cash, you'll need to explore your mortgage options. Some Italian banks offer mortgages to non-residents, but the terms may vary. And then step five in the process is renovation and maintenance. Definitely something you'll need to consider, especially if you're buying an older property where renovations might be necessary. Italy has strict regulations around renovations, especially for historic properties. So work with local architects and contractors who understand the rules and can navigate the permit process. For ongoing maintenance, factor in costs like property taxes, utilities, and any homeowners association fees, if applicable. Step 6 in the process is think about the future, right? So thinking about the rental potential if you're buying as an investment. Italy's tourism industry offers excellent opportunities for short-term rentals. However, you'll have to be aware of the local rental regulations for short-term, for long-term, and I'm going to have to do a dedicated video all about the rules around renting short-term and long-term in Italy. So subscribe to the channel. We have lots of videos about real estate in Latin America and in Southern Europe. Another consideration regarding the future is the path to residency. Owning property in Italy does not automatically grant residency, but it can strengthen your application for certain types of visas. Okay, so there could be a strategic angle there as well. And then you'll also want to think about your exit strategy. So consider the long-term prospects of the property. Is it in a desirable area? Is the value likely to appreciate? Is it a relatively liquid or illiquid real estate market, right? Obviously, something in a small town versus in, downtown Rome is going to be very different in terms of liquidity if and when you need to sell the property. Now let's hit you with some quick tips for a smooth process. So one is work with a trusted real estate agent who understands the local market. Avoid properties with unclear ownership or legal disputes. Learn some basic Italian to communicate with local professionals and neighbors. And visit the property multiple times and at different times of the day to get a complete picture. So buying property in Italy, it's a rewarding journey, but it's not without its challenges, right? It's definitely going to be a journey. But with the right preparation and professional guidance, you can turn your dream of owning Italian property into a reality. So start planning, and who knows, that slice of La Dolce Vita might be closer than you think. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel My Latin Life and book a call with us if you'd like some help with your holistic plan when it comes to second passports, residencies, visas, lowering your taxes, and diversifying internationally. That's what we do, and we can help you. So check out the channel. We got hundreds of videos. We got the podcast, lots of good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.